Hello, guys. So, yesterday we had just one kind of gist about women earning more money than their husbands. And I threw the question to my niece yesterday and asked her, what do you think about wives who earn way more money than their husbands? I mean, how do you think it can be handled? Is it possible to have a decent home in spite of that when the wife is earning way more? Because I know that, especially for the older generation, their mothers, I would tell their daughters that, I don't want you to have more money than your husband. No, be careful how you pursue your career, because men go run from you if you get more money past them.
That's like
Right? So this is a conversation that also borders on our mothers, because they are basically talking to their daughters and usually worried if the daughter looks like she's making more money than the husband that they will probably marry. So, I mean, you guys are both single. Not sure if you are mingling, but but I mean, so what do you think? Do you think that it's a problem if a lady earns more than the guy she wants to marry, or if a wife earns more than the husband she has married? So, over to you.
Okay, so I mean, you go first.
okay, I should go first. Okay, so I think everything is about perspective, because I think you're a person that talks, you're an advocate for like the mind, and everything a person is, or the way a person see things or do things, basically falls back to the mind and perspective of a person. I don't think it's a problem, but it depends. There are two sides of the coin. It depends. I know that generally there's this traditional role thing of the man is the provider, the woman, you submit, you take care of the house. But over the years, I think that the world is evolving in a way that we still have men, a lot of men who provide. But the way the world is evolving, women are now given opportunities, or women are now like taking over spaces, taking over industries in an extent where sometimes it's looking like there is a challenge between a man finding his part. We have men that find their parts. But if a person is in a situation where the lady earns more than their husband, I think everything still falls back to perspective. Now, there's a possibility that the lady will begin to do things that would make the man question his manhood. That's one part of it, which you have said before that it's a very wrong thing to do. It's a very thin line, and I won't advise everybody to go into it, because it's a thin line that takes intentionality to sustain. And you can't
Going to what?
go into a relationship or get married to somebody that you know you earn more than. It's a thin line.
Okay.
Because it takes real intentionality. We're saying
That if you are making more money than the man, don't marry the man.
no, you can marry the man, but you must know the part. You must know what you are going into, and you must be ready to play your part in what you are going into.
Yes. So yeah. So what do you think?
Okay, so what I actually think in this instance now, let's say for example, I am trying to build my own business, I'm trying to earn for myself, and eventually I get someone that I want to get married to, and the person is not so doing well. Well, I could actually speak for myself because I know my kind of person and the kind of thing I can actually do. Now, men don't like their ego being touched at all. I've not really have much experience, but I know that for a fact that as a man, you don't want your ego to be touched. So the thing falls back to the woman. That's from my own point of view, because if I earn more than my husband, there is a way that I can actually do it that nobody has to know that I earn more than my husband. Nobody has to know that I'm doing well than my husband. But it still falls also on the man, the way he takes it, because I've heard of a situation whereby, okay, a woman got a job and she's been given a car and a house, and the man is telling her that she cannot work in that place. Like, why?
Real.
I don't understand the why.
So I think that men have a very acute expression of jealousy in ways that is very different from the way the woman expresses jealousy. And when a thing begins to rub off on the ego of manhood, like we have only one car in the house and the car is owned by the wife, a lot of men can deal with that. So those are the kind of complications that really needs to be discussed, because I don't think a woman earning more than the husband is void of complication. I think in 90% of the cases, there will be some form of complications that will be, there's going to be a lot of, like what Abby said, intentionality in the way you manage the situation, prior to marriage and inside the marriage. But there will be issues that you need to be very surgical about how you attend to those issues. If a man is now jealous, just car that the woman did not buy, what now happens if the woman makes so much money that she's the one buying the car? Was his problem with the office giving her the car, or that she's the one that has the car?
The problem that he actually had was that it's going to be this, that she's going to be able to have the car, and she's going to be able to to earn more than him in the house already, because he's also working. It's not like he was not working. He's also working. He has a job that he's doing. But the woman was just open to an opportunity whereby she earns higher than him. And he's saying he cannot subject himself to the fact that the woman is earning higher than him and they're staying in the same house. Yes. And I believe, or I would say for an instance, there's two scenarios in this place. Because the woman can either leave the car for her husband because it's an official car, or she might take the car. But I don't see anything that is wrong in the woman having a car.
Can you give an official car to the husband? If the office gives you a car as a staff, the office expects you to use the car as a staff. You can't take office car and give to husband.
Husband car?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, because if I have an office and I give an official car to a staff, I expect to see the staff using the official car for official purposes.
Outside official purposes, what happens?
Yeah, I mean, if she wants to use the car to drive her husband and children to church, that's okay. But you're saying to settle quarter in the house, give office car to husband. That's not possible. If she bought the car herself and she wants to give the car to the man, it's her call. I said, okay, me, I bought the car, but I'll take Uber, but you as my husband, you be driving the car. When you can, pick me up from work. So those kind of structure must be put in place by the woman. Now, so I'll say this. When a wife earns more than the husband, there's a duty that the man must play. There's a duty that the woman must play. And in many cases, the duties that the woman plays will be more painful and more difficult than what the man plays. Because the man is just trying to adapt to the reality of the wife earning more than he does. The woman is trying to condescend beneath the reality that she earns more than the man does. And that condescending is more difficult than the adaptation. Is that making sense to you? So for the man, the woman has more money. I just need to adapt to that reality that she will pay for more things or do more things than I can. But that's not so hard. Other times, the man can become unknowingly lazy because he depends on the fact that the woman earns more than he does. So the things that he could have bought, he will wait for her to buy it. And there's a danger in that, because women were not designed to be providers and submissive at the same time. It is dangerous and unfair to expect a woman to provide and still submit. So it is possible that a woman can provide and submit, but it is difficult for the provider to be the one submitting. So when the man becomes withdrawn in his responsibility to provide, he should also withdraw in his demand for submission.
Yes, I agree.
I think that's a two-way thing.
Okay, so there's another side of this situation. Now let's take it that a man is doing well. Now we are talking about it being that, okay, let's say at the initials, or let's say when the person is already into marriage. What if the guy is doing, because I think this is an issue that should be talked about. Like, given an instance, the guy is doing well, gets married to this lady, and then let's say at the point of their journey, the guy probably lost his job, because we've seen reality of things happening like that. The guy probably lost his job, and the lady has to be the provider at the point. Let me not call it provider, like she has to play a bigger financial role. Okay. She has to play a bigger financial role in that. I've seen instances where the woman sees that as a reason to probably disrespect the husband. I'm mentioning this instance because I think I want us to bring it back to the core of like each individual, probably being kind as a person. And if you know you can't be kind to whoever you want to get married to them, anything can happen in marriage. You can start a relationship with the guy anymore. So what now happens in a situation where, let's say for a given period of time, the lady earns more and she has to provide more? How would that be? How can the person handle that situation? Because I don't want us to see it from a point of just being at the start of a relationship. What if in between the relationship, in your journey, you're already married, the guy lost his job, and then you as a woman, at that point, you have to provide more? How can that be handled?
Okay.
That's where intentionality thing comes into the whole scenario, because I got married and my husband was actually doing well before we got married. Then in the process, one or two things, life happened and I have to provide for my husband. Now it still boils down to being intentional about what you actually want, because your mind actually helps you build. So if your mind is already okay, at some point, because I think at some point there's this tendency of you becoming proud that you are the provider of the house and looking down on your husband. Now, what happens in that scenario is it's just human behavior that just decides to happen. But that's where your own intentionality has to come into. Okay, I have to remind yourself on a daily basis. Okay, I'm my husband's wife. Yes, I'm my husband's wife, and it's just for a moment. Don't even, because you don't expect a situation to always be like that. It's just for a moment, and I don't have to make it a situation whereby people will have to start pitying my husband or start looking on my husband like after she's the one bringing things in the house. It doesn't have to even be a problem, because I don't think there's a problem maybe me and my husband about going out. And of course, it's not like it's a public thing and my husband is not doing well. Nobody has to know. It's just me, my husband, and my children. If my children is not even supposed to know that my husband is not even doing well. Because it's a husband and wife situation. Your children are not even supposed to even put their mouth inside, no matter what is happening. Okay. I don't know if you understand.
I understand.
Yes.
I think I'm trying to understand.
Yes. So let's say, for example, and I'm going out. Let's say I went out with my husband and we're about to fit a bill, and I'm saying, okay, let me pay. It doesn't mean say, what happened to me giving my husband my card to pay the thing, and to just keep his ego on. I don't know if you understand. Okay, your point. Yes.
So let me just cut in a bit. So a lot of times when we buy things for the children, for example, toys or clothes, many times you may have noticed that the children usually thank my wife, and they will come and tell me, "Mommy bought us new clothes." You see? And I never try to correct them to say, no. I gave mommy the money to buy the clothes. So many times when we buy those things for them, when we, even when we travel and we come back with clothes and toys for them, 80% of the thank you goes to mommy. Because mommy is the one who is usually giving it to them, right? Very few occasions that I'm part of the giving and saying, okay, this for you, this for you. But most times it's mommy that brings it to them. So they assume that mommy is the one always buying them. I said, Daddy, mommy bought me a new shoe. Sometimes, of course, mommy buys them stuff. But a lot of the times, even when I buy them things, they say mommy bought for them. And I don't correct them. Whether it's mommy or it's daddy, it's from parents. It's okay, right? Then many times she will not tell them, no, daddy bought for you. Go and thank daddy, But you're correct. The wife can still provide and doesn't have to emphasize to the children or anybody else that I'm the one who keeps paying the rental, I'm the one who keeps buying fuel for the car, And I think that even when we look at the concept of provision for the man, I don't think the only thing the man provides is money. The man's job as a husband is to provide cover, provide protection, provide safety, provide leadership. And even if you can't provide money, provide other things. So the man can still be the provider even if money is not one of the things he's able to provide in the moment. Once the man devotes himself to providing everything else that a husband should provide, then he has done his job as a husband in the interim that he does not have the money to add to the provision. Because money is not the most important thing the man can provide. And many men, when they can't provide money, they stop providing everything else. And that becomes a big problem. But the core job of the man is provision. That provision is not tailored only to money and food. So there are many other things and these things you will know when the man gives it. There's a sense of protection you will feel if a man is truly giving you protection. There's a sense of leadership you will feel if the man is providing leadership. I think most women even get more frustrated when the man fails to provide these other aspects than even money. And any woman that puts emphasis so much on money above these things, that woman did not qualify to be a wife. If the provision of money, if that provision of money is the only thing that you see as the provision that is required from the husband, then even you as the wife did not qualify to be a wife.
That means there are qualities to be a wife, because even the Bible tells us that whosoever findeth a wife,
Yes,
that means you are a wife before you are even married.
There are so many things that is within the context of providing from the husband. Money is one of them, and money is not the most important of them. And I like the scenario you painted, that it's possible to marry a man who is comfortable, and a few years, afterwards, maybe he lost a job, or maybe you guys moved to a new city and he's not able to get a job, and you got a job first before him. All that can play out. And then for some reason, the wife is now way ahead of him financially and in career. But it doesn't mean that the man is weak, the man is unable to do his part as the husband. He is just not in the position to provide as he used to. And in that case, the wife needs to culture her mind. It takes a lot of culturing. The error from most women is that they think they are such good wives that they will be willing to give to their husbands no matter what. And they think it will happen naturally. No. The first 2-3 months may be okay. First, maybe 1 year, you are still okay. Afterwards, even you will not know when you become irritated by his questions. Babe, have we been able to pay the NEPA bill? You used to tell me before I pay the NEPA bill. What's the question now? So you don't even know it because you are dealing with some pressure of your own. You are probably being overwhelmed by a duty you are not accustomed to. You didn't see your mother doing it. You didn't see your grandmother doing it. And then now you're doing it. So subconsciously, it's going to weigh on you. And even if you don't react physically, you are reacting internally to things that didn't anger you 6 months before. You know what I'm saying now? You are not seeing the list of the things you bought in the month, and you saw you spent 800,000. And then suddenly that information begins to irritate you. And suddenly there is that irritation that is being transferred to the husband, whose lack of financial provision has put you in a place where you are spending 800,000 for you, your husband, and your children, which normally should not be a problem. Because I used to say to my wife that it's better to spend money for food than for medicine. So if that man was sick and had a terminal illness, the woman would spend 10 million, she wouldn't think so hard on it. But suddenly now, because she's bearing the needs of the family day to day, that sudden burden will come. Most men too are not sensitive enough to provide the extra support to the woman to say, look, I know what you're going through. I promise you I'm doing my best. This won't be forever. I assure you, I will do whatever it takes. If it means me carrying block, I won't carry block. But this load, I will carry it off you as soon as possible. Most men don't even have that emotional intelligence to have that conversation with a woman.
So I would like to, because most of the time when we talk about, because I really love the fact that you mentioned that aside money, there are other things men provide, because we are also in a generation where we are very driven by the things we see, and most of what we see somehow money shows like this is what we see. And even like in our churches, in the home, it's very rare for us to see, like, let's say a man being taught or cultured to be a husband, but there's so much emphasis on the woman being cultured. You have to learn
submit.
how to cook.
Yeah.
You have to learn to submit. You have to learn to do this. And I think that this has also played a role with a man. Or sometimes all the man wants to do is, I want to provide money, and there's no probably spiritual covering. There's like the other things you had mentioned is really lacking. And I think that why part of why this conversation is going on is to also mention that aside money, there are many other things that a man provides. And the fact that we don't have so much culturing happening, it makes, I think for me, I think that the society suffers more when the men are not cultured more. Is my personal, is what I think. It might be wrong, or everybody might not have the same ideology, but I think that society suffers more when a man is not cultured. And personally, I would appreciate if if an intentional effort is also made for men to also be prepared for, let's say, marriage, or prepared to be a husband. In the midst of this conversation, it does not mean that a man should be lazy, because there's also the possibility that the woman may not know how to provide, or may not know how to set this boundary, and then the man, you mentioned something about the man just becoming relaxed because my wife will get it done, or this person will get it done, becomes relaxed. This does not mean that the man should be lazy. Of course, you must see the traits that the man is. Of course, you must see the traits that, okay, this person is hardworking, whatnot, providing every other thing, maybe except this for the moment. I'm just trying, because somebody can watch this podcast and say, and let's say the person in question is lazy, and the person is like, oh no, I can go ahead. I heard this podcast. I'm just trying to see the balance of, it does not mean that you should now be with somebody that is lazy. No. In as much as a man should provide every other thing, money is important. Yes, we know that, but every other thing is important, and it will do us a greater good if men are also cultured and prepared to be good husbands.
Yeah.
Because to a large extent, I know that you're not somebody that reads book, but your heart and most of the things you do are cultured by the Holy Spirit. But we have men who, because that's why we're having instance of a woman having a car is a problem. Because naturally, I don't think that should be a problem. If a man's heart is really cultured, everything should just be in the benefit of two people.
Yeah, so I agree. Men are cultured sometimes, even the ones who are in church. Some of them are cultured to be spiritual, but they're not cultured to be husbands. I agree 100%. I really think that what you said is very remarkable, that women, there's a lot more talk to women on how to be wives, how to cook, how to dress, how to talk, how to even handle in-laws. True. I mean, generally speaking, there's a lot of input made on the women on how to be wives, like way more than inputs are made. Yeah, how to be mothers, how to nurse baby and stuff like that. But people are not teaching men really how to be husbands and fathers, and that's really remarkable. That's really remarkable. So the issue isn't just about holding summits. What you are saying and what I'm agreeing to is not, we're not saying that there should be more summits held for men, because many of the trainings that women get are from their mothers, from their grandmothers, from their aunts, from their elder sisters. But the fathers, the uncles, the grandfathers are not speaking to their sons on how to be good husbands, right? Maybe culturally, there seem to be a lot of more diverse demands on wives within the African culture than there is on the man. It seems like the man's primary culture is just get married, provide. Even when there's a delay in having children, the woman is the one that is held to blame, and even if the medical concern is the man's concern, somehow nobody talks to the man. True. It still goes back to the woman. And in many cases, the woman can even say, it's actually my husband that has the challenge, So even when, sadly, a woman is raped, she can't even talk about it, even before marriage. So that's a very heavy deficit that you just highlighted. So let me digress a little bit to something, and I'll ask both of you the question. So let's assume that a woman is earning way more than the husband, or a lady is earning way more than the man she wants to marry. Is it okay for the woman or the wife to reveal to the man exactly how much they're earning? So let's say the man is earning 150K or 100K, and the man is earning 400,000. Or the man has a savings of 1 million naira. The man has a savings of 20 million naira. Is it okay for the woman to tell the husband or tell the man she wants to marry? Because let's say you're about to get married and the man say, so I have savings, so, and I have like 86,000 naira in my savings. And then you are already like at 3 million. I said, okay, have you saved any money before? Before marriage. So I'm asking for both scenarios, before marriage and after marriage. Is it okay to reveal, to give full disclosure? I wish Dami was on this one. Is it okay to give full disclosure to your husband or to the man you want to marry, your true financial worth?
For me, I would say it's safer not to. I know everything's the boys, but because people can hear of, okay, let's say individuals can say, oh, be transparent, whatnot. For me, I think it's safer not to, because it's not just your husband, even let's say down to your parents, your siblings, whatnot. It's better to always use, okay, I think I have about this, and this. I think it's safer not to. Because I think we've had a podcast. If you have not watched that podcast, please check it out. Necessary truths and complete truths, right? I think it's safer not to. You can just say about this if necessary. For me, I think it's safer not to. What do you think, Ire?
Well, for me, before marriage, I don't think it's even important. Actually, that's to me. Because another thing we have to also check is to check the heart of the person. Also.
What do you use?
Okay, what I'm trying to say is that
Open the heart.
We'll do surgery.
No, that's not what I'm trying to imply. What I'm trying to imply is that for you going out with somebody, you should be able to know the person to some extent, and you should be able to know the level of truth the person can actually hold.
Some people don't even know the level of truth they can hold.
Yes, that's true. You may not know how you react.
You yourself don't even know the level of truth you can hold.
Okay, since we don't know the level of truth you can actually hold, I think I would just go with the part that it's better not to even see. You understand? You can actually do your things background, no, to me.
What if you're married to the person?
Yes, one now. This question is a bit it's technical. Yes. Now, if you're married to the person, there's transparency. There's something we call transparency in marriage, and I feel I've not been married though, but from teachings and people's lives I've actually watched. The reason why most people had issues sometimes in marriage because they lack transparency. So I just get to find out that my husband owns an estate. Meanwhile, we're struggling to pay for house rent. It causes issues most of the time. So I think there's nothing wrong in letting your husband know that, okay, husband, this is what I have. Or when it's necessary, because we could be having a conversation and maybe there's a need that is supposed to be met. And your husband is not financially stable enough to help at that particular point. There's nothing wrong to me that you step in to assist in that situation if you have.
You tell your husband you have 20 million savings. He has only 850,000 in his own account. He wants to start a new business for 14 million. And he could call anybody to borrow the money, and he tells you he doesn't even want to borrow him the money. But you already told him you have 20 million in the account. So he comes to you and says, look, babe, I want to start this business. I don't know if you could just borrow me 14 million from your... I mean, that thing has been there for like 8 months. You've not really used it. I want to do a business and I need 14 million from your 20 million. Could you borrow me the 14 million? What would you do?
For me, actually, I can.
And then...
Okay.
Yeah.
When she's done.
Yeah, not to hear you.
Okay. For me, I would tell him to do a business that is close to what he can replicate first. I won't give 14 million. For me, do the business of, let's say, 1 million. Let's see what comes out of the 1 million.
What if he has been doing business before now?
And it fails?
No, not like fails.
What if he has not been doing business for fun now?
Okay, you're just starting a business and you want to start with 40 million, yeah.
So I'm giving both scenarios. What if he has been doing the business for now, but he's been doing... Bear in mind, he has 850,000 naira. Whatever business he has been doing, he has 850,000 naira in the account, right? Good. He has never... If he had that money, he has what he has in his savings. If he has something to sell, he'd have sold it. He wouldn't have come to you. So he comes to you to say, right?
Yes.
I need 14 million. You've told him you have 20 million. You can't go back on that anymore.
Yes.
So you give it to him. Now, there's a story, and there are many stories like this, which we talked about in one podcast about even courtship, people giving their fiancés money and they're not angry when they break up.
Yes.
You know, because there are stories where women have given their life savings to their husbands. 5 years after, the man begins to misbehave. There's a woman that I've heard her story before, and she gave even like her inheritance. And then years later, there was misconduct. And her major worry about pulling out is, I've given him the family inheritance. And then the property in view, or whatever it is the money was used for, is in the man's name. Even if he's still there, what does she go back to? What does she go back to? There are women who have given loans to their husbands like that and it was never paid back. They have other dreams they want to pursue. They can't pursue it anymore because everything they saved for the past 18 years to give to their husbands is gone. It's gone. The two are one. So what do you do about that? These are real issues. The child now wants to go to school and we need school fees. But I gave the 18 million to the man. The business has failed. Now the child that is owned by two of them cannot go to school. What was going to be a backup plan was the savings. The savings now has gone to Oga. And Oga did not bother to call his friends or sell anything because Madame says she has 20 million.
So, sir,
You're becoming more humble.
this is actually more complicated because I think the way not like most of us, I think the way I was kind of like brought up was a way that, this thing of submission. Yes, so we've always have these ideologies that, okay, your husband is your husband. Then apart from you and your husband, every other person is like secondary to whatever is happening. So hence the reason why I said I would give him. Yeah. But looking at this scenario right now, sir,
People have strengths. People have weaknesses.
Yeah.
There are men that if you give them 18 million, to make it 100 million. Yes. Don't get me wrong.
Yes, they are.
Right? Don't get me wrong. And if I were ever going to be in such a position, I'm not sure if I will ever have gone to meet my wife. As a man, you must have friends that can give you that money. Go and meet your friends. Leave your wife alone. That's my own policy. Even if I was in a position like that, and I had a wife that had that kind of money, my wife would not be in the first 20 persons on my list to meet.
Why?
Because I must have built some sort of network assets before I met my wife. You must have developed some kind of personal network asset of your own. You see what I'm saying now?
Yes.
I would rather even go and meet my wife's father to borrow me that money than meet my wife. You must qualify that somebody somewhere should trust you enough to give you that 18 million or 14 million. It must not be your wife's money. It's even best to say, okay, I have raised 10 million
This is what is there.
from, I called 2 or 3 of my friends. They have raised me 10 million. Babe, can you just add me 3 million let me just add to the 10 million. And then I will ensure that I pay back. And if I ever did that, I will pay back. I will pay back. Even if she says, no, babe, no, keep it now. I will pay back. When I pay back, if you want to sow into my life as your prophet, sow into my life. But the one I took as borrow, I will pay you back. If you want to give me as your husband, even 20 million, I may collect. But the one I borrowed, I must pay back.
So you see this thing you just said, it's not, I can assure you, not up to 70% of men knows this thing that you just said.
Not even 30%. And the wife cannot go back. The day the wife goes back now, you now say, I have been paying school fees.
Yes.
You did not pay me back. I have bought food for this house. You didn't pay me back. Because you have given me 10 million now. I can't rest my house again. And I promise you, even believing husbands will say what I'm saying.
Of course.
Exactly. And
You see?
that's what most of them are even teaching even in the altar these days.
Yes, it's not proper.
what they're teaching the
Use
other
your
days.
own asset of networks that you have built. If you are a sensible man, people will give you money. Leave your wife alone. And I truly believe in what Abigail said. Wives too should learn, and husbands as well. One of the scriptures we shared in that podcast was when Jesus said to the disciples, I have many things to say to you, but you can't handle it. Jesus said to the disciples, what I have to say to you, there are many. The only problem is that you cannot handle it. There are many things you want to say to your wife. She can't handle it, too, sir. There are many things you want to say to your husband. He cannot handle it. Eh? I will not go deep into those matters. See, there are many things I want to say, but you cannot handle it. And if Jesus wants to say something, it means whatever he is saying is important. But he said that I will not say it, not because it is not important, but it's because you cannot handle it. So you must learn when to give necessary truth above complete truth. How much do you have in your savings? The actual money is 20 million, but I have over 3 million. Is still the truth. Pastors can say what they want to say. I'm not a pastor. I'm telling you that if I have 20 million, Damilola, and I tell you I have over 3 million, have I lied? Yes. So you must know that balance. Like you said, whether it's your husband, your friends, your mother-in-law, it's not everything you say. Somebody came and did one kind of funny thing in the office. You don't carry everything home. Not everything should be taken home. Because that person that offended you in the office now, you will forgive him 3 days later. You've not told your wife. Your wife has now made him an enemy. You forgive him 3 days later. Your wife held him inside chest for 3 years. Let certain things just lie for a bit. Because not everything, even though there's transparency in the home, you must emphasize on necessary truth. Sometimes you tell your wife something, she will not sleep at night. You that told her you have slept. It's your own problem, oh. That babe will say, I borrowed somebody's car. By mistake, I hit the car on the fence. The car is now there. We don't know how to repair it. You that told your wife you have slept. Your wife now cannot sleep. That's what I'm saying now. So not everything should be said to your wife. Not everything should be said to your husband. Does it mean you keep secrets? No. You can give them hints. Something happened today that really is bothering me. Yeah, babe, don't worry, don't worry. You've already hinted her that something happened today. But the details of it, she doesn't have to have it. The same thing with the husband. So, for me, I don't subscribe to wives. For the wives that have way more savings, even the men. So men, if you want to tell your wife what you really, yeah, what? Hey,
Lifestyle.
babe, can we go to London? Babe, can we go to holiday Paris? You know what I'm saying, right? Some wives, even Christian wives, forget that thing. Yeah. So I got a job. Praise God, hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. How much was the contract? It was over 15 million. But it means that the contract is 100 million. But I won't say 100 million. It was over 15 million. Leave it like that for some wives. Because some wives, they have needs commensurate to your income. There's no need until there's income. They are good women. They are loving husbands, loving wives, loving mothers. But their needs is in measure to your income. The one you tell them is what they chop. If you say you have 1 million, they will eat 1 million. If you say it's 20 million, they will find 20 million naira chop. You know what I'm saying, right? Yeah. They are good women, though, good wives, but they must chop it. So you want to be careful, even with children. Because if you say there's so much money, they won't say, I want to buy the world. So you want to be careful not to disclose what can become a distraction. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying lie to anybody. I'm saying that you don't have to disclose everything to everybody.
So this code that usually comes with my husband money is our money and my money is my money.
No, that one applies to women most times. But I mean, the truth is that women, to be honest, I think that women in this generation are more liberal than that. Some women are like that. They don't share what is theirs with their husbands and share everything that's their husbands. But I would say that women have become better. Really. Same thing with men. I think they're better fathers now than we had many years ago. They're way more better fathers now. They're fathers that play with their kids. And they're part of the home, you know. But to be honest, I think there are a lot of good women out there, sincerely. We just need to create a balance. The thing is that whoever you marry, know that you married a human being. That is very deep. What I just said is Sila. Whoever you married, if you marry that person, the person did not just drop with wings like this. Eh? If that person came from the womb of a woman, male or female, that person is a human being. Stop expecting human beings to act like angels. Stop expecting human beings to be not human beings. So humans will be human. And in the human nature is bound to be error. So be careful what you hand over to the hand of a human, because a human will be a human. All right? So, anything you want to say about of time?
Yes, I think it's not going to be so long, but I think that it should be of great use. Okay, yeah, we are singles here and yeah, the married here. So to probably give us and the audience a hint of, let's say, 5 practical ways to prepare for marriage.
See,
Where's my paper and pen?
no. So I think that I would rather say 5 ways, not 5 ways, just ways to manage income and revenue. Is that I would say that a woman's heart is designed to submit by default, but the nature of a person is not automatic. It's in our nature to be good, doesn't mean that we will all be good. It's in our nature to be bad, does not mean we will all be bad. So that it's in a woman's nature to submit does not mean that every woman will be submissive. So submission is a decision, not a nature. You decide to submit. Number 2 is a marriage, I've said this over and over again, is not for taking, it's for giving. And once you have the concept of giving, whether you earn more or you earn less, you'll be willing and happy to give. I don't think about what I give to my wife as a labor. She knows it. My wife knows it. My children know it. I give without holding back, right? Because it's in the nature of love that if you truly love, you will give. If you truly love, giving will come naturally. So give. If you must give money, give money. For the man, give money, but beyond money, give time. Give your heart. Give attention. Give your heart. A woman knows when she has your heart. She knows it. She may even have your heart and not have your time. She knows it. So for the men, learn to give your heart. Give your heart. Not just your time or your money. Give your heart. For the woman, give your heart, not just your body and your cooking skills. Give your heart. You know what I'm saying? Because there's a point that a man comes to that body cannot do the work again. You know what I'm saying? The body too don't go through stress. There's not too much to offer if it's only body you have. The same thing to a point will come in a woman that if it's only money you have, the money cannot give too much anymore. Because her needs can no longer be met by money. So the danger of men focusing on money and women on body is a big risk. Because a time will come in marriage that the body from the woman can't meet up. The money from the man, even if it's 1 billion, she wants more than the money. Number 3 is that no marriage is void of drama. Stop expecting a perfect home.
So they're going to tell us this one.
Don't expect it. The first few months or first few years of marriage, you will have more reasons to regret your decision than to celebrate your decision. First few months or first few years of marriage, I promise you, if you married well, you will have more reasons to die. No, some people didn't marry well. They marry for money, for fame, for family name. So they don't care. They marry with a game plan to harvest profits. But if you truly marry for the right reason, in the first few months and first few years, you may have more reasons to regret your decision, to contemplate your decision, than to celebrate it. It's after like 3 years plus that you now settle in it. So in those first few months and first few years, be strong. And look for the good. Don't expect the good, look for it. My husband doesn't give compliments. He does not come home early. He has too many friends. Is a problem. We put it on one side and look for the good, but he's kind to me. He provides for us. He's working so hard. Count your blessings, name them one by one. That is how you sustain marriage. You look for the blessings, look for it under the table, raise the bed, look for it until you find it. Because when you start marriage, you will see many things that will offend you. So in those first few years, be strong. Then the last one I will say is that do not determine the success of your home by anything you see in other homes. Do not determine the success of your home or the quality of your spouse by what you see in other people's spouses or in other people's homes. I see the way that James's wife cooks for her every time I go there. I see the way she serves his food. Why can't you just serve like that? Is it too much to ask you in this house? Can you not just put a tray to my food? That tray was what you saw. The insult that she insulted James when you left, you didn't see that one. If it's food, she can serve food. But James have not seen her pants in 8 months. You didn't know that part. She does not like James to touch. Some couples came to my office and told me, clearly, the woman said that I don't want him to touch me. For like 1 year, the man has not touched his wife. She's not sick, she's not bedridden. But you went to James' house and you saw the tray that the wife used to serve. And you say, can't you be like James' wife? James is there mourning in isolation because at night he can't touch his wife. You didn't see that part. So the one that you saw is the one they allowed you to see. Don't determine the state of your home by what you see in other people's homes or other people's spouses. Then maybe the last thing I will say is that don't be in a hurry to marry. Don't be in a hurry to marry. Do not cover the truth before marriage. If the man looks like he will beat you, he will beat you. If he looks like he will insult you, he will insult you. Stop making excuses for obvious drama that you have seen the signs of. For many things that causes divorce, we saw the signs in courtship. We just ignored it. So be wise. I have finished. Thank you, guys. We love you.
Thank you, guys. Thank
Bye-bye.
you so much, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you.